Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will start in 10 minutes. Please turn off all electronic devices.
playing of the National Anthem by the VMI Regimental Band and the invocation by Chaplain Phillips.
Atmosphere that is absolutely electric, full of excitement, celebration, pride, and success. We rejoice today with these 371 soon-to-be VMI graduates and their families. Today, the dream comes true, the goal is accomplished, and the long-awaited milestone is surpassed. The ring on their finger and the diploma in their hand will forever symbolize the work, sweat, sacrifice, tears, bonds, and memories of their VMI experience. But today they cross the threshold, they begin a new journey, they start a new race. Lord, let them run with endurance the race that is now set out before them. Grant them success, guard their course, protect their way. May they discern the things that are right and just and fair. May your wisdom enter their hearts and your knowledge be pleasant to their souls. May they have discretion that protects them and understanding that guards them. Grant that they may be bold and confident in their endeavors. Give them courage to stand for what is morally right, even when it is not popular, and especially when they face great risk. May they live lives of principles that are clear, consistent, and influenced by your divine truth. Above all else, give them faith in you that will not fail. Lord, I thank you for the men and the women of the class of 2018, their families, their faculty, and their staff. I thank you for all they have accomplished, and I thank you in advance for the things that they will accomplish. Grant us with your presence today. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning. Secretary Tillerson, members of the VMI Board of Visitors, members of the Academic Board, faculty and staff, families and friends of today's graduating cadets. Welcome to this commencement ceremony, the climax of 4 years of diligent study and hard work by the class of 2018. I have the great pleasure as we begin this morning's ceremony to welcome the Honorable Rex Tillerson, our commencement speaker, who with General George C. Marshall is the second former Secretary of State to address the graduating cadets of the Institute. He will be formally introduced in a few moments by the first class president, but I take this opportunity to welcome him and extend our highest regard for his service to the nation and for his remarkable career on the international stage as chairman and CEO of ExxonMobil, a giant in the world's economy, and for his service to the youth of America as past national president of the Boy Scouts of America. His record of service certainly resonates so well with this community, where our goal is to educate young men and women to serve their nation and their community, whether in uniform or in civilian life. So, sir, welcome to the Virginia Military Institute, and thank you for the example of the very best of leadership. Welcome. Graduation from VMI is a great personal achievement, but is an achievement that cannot be reached alone. Many others have contributed to the success of today's graduates: parents and grandparents, guardians, brothers and sisters, brotherettes, friends, faculty, staff, coaches, and host families, to name but a few. VMI is particularly grateful to parents and grandparents for encouraging and sustaining their sons and daughters, grandsons and granddaughters throughout these cadet years. I ask the parents and grandparents to please stand and receive our thanks. This is certainly a proud day for you. Universities and colleges are many things to many people, but as the heart of any great institution of higher education, I think, is its faculty. They are the ones who teach, guide, counsel, and encourage young people on a day-to-day basis. I include in this group our military staff and those who coach our athletes. For at VMI, we believe that the academic, discipline, military structure, and the physical aspects make for a full and complete education. Please join me in expressing our thanks to the Institute's faculty. The class of 2018 matriculated in August 2014 with a strength of 500. Today will graduate 355 cadets. 13 members of the class graduated earlier in 2016 and 2017, and we acknowledge them today as well. Adding graduates from other classes, today's ceremony will see 373 cadets cross the stage and receive a VMI diploma. The class of 2018 is the largest graduating class in VMI's history. Counting 193 of this class who were commissioned yesterday, by the end of the summer, a total of 213 members of the class of 2018 will have been commissioned. This means that 60% of the graduating class have met or will meet the high requirements for commissioning in the armed forces of our country. Others, additionally, will also be commissioned upon completion of the Officer Candidate School, OCS, program. These numbers are especially commendable and reinforce VMI's historic mission in producing citizen soldiers. A number of VMI cadets, staff, and faculty have been called to active duty in support of the current and long war on terror, thus placing their lives and their cadetships temporarily on hold. In addition, there are parents and family members and others in the audience this morning who are currently serving or who have served, and I just ask for all of you patriots, you veterans, please rise and receive our appreciation for your service. As the class of 2018, you were present during years that saw significant anniversaries for the Institute and for the nation. You were present in the year that marked the 175th anniversary of the founding of the Institute, the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Newmarket, the 100th anniversary of the beginning of America's entry into the First World War, and now, this year, the 100th anniversary of the end of that war. As first-classmen, you planned and led the Corps through a very successful year, which included participating as the largest marching unit in 2 inaugural parades, one for President Trump and the other for Governor Northam. You were diligent in professionally running the rat line, the military, class, and honor systems, and your class was most proficient in the classroom, performing with academic excellence. Class of 2018 now goes into the VMI history book with demonstrated pride in its faithfulness to the Institute's high ideals, and I believe a splendid reputation. VMI is a forward-looking institution dedicated to producing intelligent and useful citizens, but is also steeped in history and tradition. We march into the future, but we are ever mindful of the rich legacy of our past. There will be important remnants of this life you have lived that will follow you into the future, some quite serious, like a reputation for honor and persistence and dependability, and some a little humorous or quirky, as when you explain in the future to your children why you arrange your books on a bookshelf by height, or why you hang your clothes in order of color or length. There's probably a lot more truth to that than you realize today. I think more VMI have rubbed off on you for the future. So as you depart the Institute and begin your new careers, work hard. Work hard in fulfilling your dreams. Be creative. Master the art of listening. Appreciate the many sides of life. Be civil and grow in wisdom. Provide the very best of leadership for your family, for your community, and for our nation. Each graduating class has heard me say this over the past 15 years. Hold on to the concept of honor, the very bedrock of VMI. People now will hold you to a higher standard because you're a VMI graduate. This high expectation cannot be avoided. As the chaplain mentioned, it comes with the ring and it comes with the diploma. Embrace it now as the heritage that has been passed on to you, and strive always to preserve and enhance it. The open road now awaits you. Godspeed. Warmest congratulations from all of the Institute family. It is now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2018, Cadet Thomas Schmidt from Geneva, New York. The valedictorian at VMI is peer elected by his classmates and is truly a high honor. Mr. Schmidt double majored in applied mathematics and physics. He served as president of the Officer of the Guard Association this year, I think providing high character and principled leadership in his responsibilities and duties. A distinguished naval graduate, he was commissioned yesterday in the United States Marine Corps. Mr. Schmidt.
Honorable Mr. Tillerson, General P, Board of Visitors, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, thank you so much for coming. To the classes of 2019 and 2020, the only truly captive audiences I have today, your time's gonna come. To the class of 2021, our rats, take a good look. You'll be in our place before you know it. To our families, I can never begin to thank you enough for all you've done for us, and I'm sure that goes double and triple for everyone else sitting on the floor here. You made all of this possible. I reached out pretty far for advice about what to say for this speech, and the best I got was be brief, be brilliant, and then be gone before people start sleeping in the aisles. So that is what I'll attempt to do here today. It takes 4 years to graduate from VMI, and for the first 2, you're just along for the ride. By the time you think you have the game figured out, you're wearing coatee, sitting on the floor in Cameron Hall, wondering where the time went. Most decisions you want to make are second-guessed, countered, rejected, or slow-rolled. This leaves you no choice but to act with a sense of urgency, to be brief. Anything else will be forgotten about before it can be breathed into existence. In the face of this pressure, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year, I'm incredibly proud of how much the class of 2018 accomplished. When I think of the last 4 years, I don't remember a single test, a single PT session, any athletic events, or formation with a particular sense of clarity. What I do remember is the people I did it with and what an honor it is to know them. I think of the families who took me in as one of their own without asking a question or missing a beat. I think of the incredible sense of humor that's as much a part of VMI as any uniform item or formation. I think of watching my brother Rats take charge of the Corps and the sense of wonder and awe that I had at being a part of it. I think of the resourcefulness shown in situations across the board, from writing capstone papers within minutes of the due date, to planning trips to Virginia Tech on a shoelace budget in even shorter time, to getting a birthday boy back to barracks on the night of his 21st birthday. I think of you all and how brilliant you were as friends, as students, and leaders, and how brilliant that you will be as we go forward. In a matter of hours, our time at VMI will be over. We will exit Cameron Hall as graduates rather than as cadets. Some of us will enter the military, others will go on to graduate school, and others will enter the workforce. No matter our plans, we will be gone, and thank God for that. I know that after we leave, despite our physical distance, our relationships will endure. I know that we will go on to great things in a multitude of fields, and not a single one will surprise me. I know that we will make good on the years of support and the years of advice from parents, coaches, teachers, faculty, family, and friends. I know all of this without a shadow of a doubt because for 4 years I've been lucky enough to be a member of the class 2018, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schmidt. I'll now ask Cadet Joseph Brown of Virginia Beach, Virginia, first class president, to speak briefly to his brother Rats and then introduce our commencement speaker, the Honorable Rex Tillerson. Cadet Brown.
The Honorable Tillerson, Mr. and Mrs. Boland, General and Mrs. P., General and Mrs. Smith, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, family, friends, Corps cadets, but most importantly, the class of 2018, welcome and good morning. In a moment, I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Secretary Rex Tillerson. But before I do that, I want to share some brief words with you all. 1,362 days ago, the Rat Mass of 2015 plus 3 were sitting in your seats. We were called down company by company to begin what a lot of people know as college. I looked at the dull green barracks, those huge medieval type structures throughout Post, the VMI football field, and remember thinking to myself two things. One, I can't tell if this place looks more like Hogwarts or a penitentiary. And then two, I remember thinking, Joey, all your friends love college. College sports, the parties, they all say they're having the time of their lives and would not trade that time for the world. Joey, you're about to start college. I have never experienced a more drastic and dramatic reverse in expectations in my entire life. Right? What I thought were parties were now sweat parties. What I thought was being tired or stressed did not even scratch the surface of what we experienced here at Mother Eye. On the other end, what I thought was time management and discipline in high school did not even compare to what we learned here. And what I thought was friendship and camaraderie was just the beginning. I don't know if you remember the speech I gave to our class's ring figure last year, but I mentioned something that my father, Joe Brown, says all the time. He says, son, I'm living vicariously through you and all your classmates. 2018, I think we can all agree that if there was a way to do this place right, we did it. We had great times, we had rough times, but both are part of what made us the people that we are today and the class that we are today. My dad said something else 3 years ago that really stuck with me. He said it to a family member of mine, and what he said was, he doesn't just love you, he adores you. My takeaway was that love is truly something special, but to adore something or someone is almost another level up. Class of 2018, on August 23rd, 2014, we matriculated, and today, May 16th, 2018, we graduate from a place known by many as the most difficult military college in the country. The last 4 years have been a long road full of peaks and valleys, but I pray the next 80 will be filled with healthy lives for all and a lot of fun times. It may sound a little cheesy, but I adore what we have as a class. I adore the relationships we have made along the way, and I adore the time we have had together and the time we will have together moving into the future. I love VMI, but I adore you all. Godspeed 2018. Thank you to everyone here in Cameron Hall, the Center for Leadership and Ethics, and elsewhere that gave us, the class of 2018, the courage to take the road less traveled and the support of many kinds needed to graduate from the Virginia Military Institute. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce today's commencement speaker, the Honorable Rex Tillerson. A native of Wichita Falls, Texas, Secretary Tillerson earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering at the University of Texas at Austin before joining Exxon Company USA in 1975 as a production engineer. Secretary Tillerson rose through the ranks to become president of the corporation and a member of the board of directors in 2004, and served as ExxonMobil's chairman and chief executive officer from 2006 to 2016. Secretary Tillerson has a long-standing involvement with the Boy Scouts of America, earning its highest rank of Distinguished Eagle Scout in his youth. He is a former member of the Boy Scouts of America's Executive Committee and served as the national president of Boy Scouts from 2010 to 2012. Most recently, Secretary Tillerson served as the 69th U.S. Secretary of State. He is a former member of the American Petroleum Institute and the National Petroleum Council, and was elected to the National Academy of Engineering in 2013. He formerly served as a trustee of the Center for Strategic and International Studies. He was also a member of the Business Roundtable and the Business Council, as well as an honorary trustee of the Business Council for International Understanding, and a member of the Emergency Committee for American Trade. He is a former director of the United Negro College Fund and a former vice chairman of Ford's Theater Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Tillerson.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for that very kind introduction. I also want to thank General P. and everyone from VMI for the kind invitation to be part of this very important day for all of you. I know it is important to you. I know it's important to your family, friends, and so many others who have played a part in supporting you in your journey to this transitional moment in your lives. I know many of you also received your commissions to serve as our newest leaders in all branches of our military only yesterday. I want to thank you for that, not only for your willingness to serve, but the commitment and sacrifice of yourselves and family members that comes with your service. VMI prides itself on its development of citizen soldiers, and the act of your committing to this service due to no obligation to serve demonstrates why America's all-volunteer armed forces are unmatched by any other fighting force in the world. Your willingness to put all on the line for the American idea, our form of democracy, and our freedoms, and for no other reason, inspire those of us not in uniform to be good citizens, working for the prosperity and security of our families, our communities, and our country. In this way, we honor your service. Others of you are on the threshold to entering the private sector. Some will pursue public service. Others will continue your education as graduate studies elsewhere. Regardless of your next stop, the discipline, values, and beginning of your development as a leader that take with you from your time here at VMI positions you very well in the starting blocks for the next phase of your life. In the midst of these celebrations today, I also know that as you close out this phase of your life and prepare for the future, that you'll take time to thank the people who taught you along the way. Of course, your teachers and professors, important as they are, but also your parents, your grandparents, coaches, mentors, and others who helped you learn and succeed. Like no generation before you, more of you, most likely all of you, will be required to consider the entire world clearly and understand how your life and abilities can help address many of the shared global challenges confronting us. In 1975, more than 40 years ago, graduates such as myself and my classmates could afford to pretty much focus on our own nation and our own markets for opportunity and growth. Indisputably, that is no longer the case. I took my 2 all-day professional engineering exams with a post-slide rule. I was given my first handheld calculator, a TI-110, 1 year after I went to work for Exxon. It could add, it could subtract, it could multiply, it could divide, and amazingly, it had a square root key. I received one of the first desktop computers, a Macintosh, with a very blurry green screen in 1983, 8 years into my career. Fast forward to the devices available to almost anyone the world over. I'll leave it to you to contemplate the changes you will live through over the next 40 years. The most profound change that challenges our economic competitiveness and our national security is the proliferation of digital communications and transactions. Whether we like it or not, for better or for worse, our own inventions and innovations have connected our world in ways unimagined and created economic and security interdependencies that we had not contemplated nor prepared ourselves to manage. The world has more or less been drug along by the technology rather than our political and business leaders shaping the role of these technologies. Digital highways and backroads are great enablers of good and advanced progress of humanity, but they are also ungoverned connections for the spread of evil ideologies and the know-how to organize and spread the tools of terrorism all too easily. The great challenge confronting the global community of responsible nations is how to protect and preserve the freedoms of our society while enforcing the responsible and legitimate exercise of free speech. This is a challenge your generation will continue to confront. We must now see the present and the future in a global context. We must recognize the value of friends and allies, allies born of shared values and shared sacrifices. One of America's great advantages is we have many allies. Our adversaries, China, Russia, Iran, and the terrorist organizations, have few. We must never take these long-held allies for granted. We must motivate and strengthen them, not just in our areas of complete agreement, but particularly in bridging our differences, both in trading relations and in national security matters. Seeing the future in a global context requires recognizing the rapid economic development taking place the world over, the dynamic populations that are growing in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, and the challenges that will come from meeting the needs and realizing the aspirations of billions of people on this planet. These global realities have created a new economic and national security set of pressures. Here at home, these changes have led to anxiety and fear about growth in foreign markets and about the global movement of jobs. We must acknowledge, however, that every nation has a right to aspire to a better quality of life, and that free trade and economic growth are the means by which opportunity is created for all people. Even today, in this year 2018, 1.4 billion people live without access to electricity to heat and provide light in their homes, cook their meals, clean their drinking water, or power hospitals and schools. For these men and women and children, the innovation and technology that comes with economic growth means the difference between health and safety, sickness and death. Citizens in developed economies are coming to this realization, but many here at home still have a way to go to fully embrace the global economy and to recognize that with these changes come both challenges and opportunities. This is the world you enter. It is a world in dramatic transition and change. As you look forward, your role in building a brighter future will depend on more than simply your education and your skills. Your contributions to society depend on a firm, ethical foundation of personal and professional integrity. As I reflect upon the state of our American democracy, I observe a growing crisis in ethics and integrity. Above the entrance to the main building on the campus of my alma mater in Austin, Texas, are inscribed the words, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Comes from the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. The founders of our American democracy were, I believe many agree, were crafting the structure and foundational documents guided by divine inspiration, if not divine intervention. An essential tenet of a free society, a free people, is access to the truth. A government structure and a societal understanding that freedom to seek the truth is the very essence of freedom itself. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It is only by fierce defense of the truth and a common set of facts that we create the conditions for a democratic, free society comprised of richly diverse peoples, that those free people can explore and find solutions to the very challenges confronting a complex society of free people. If our leaders seek to conceal the truth, or we as people become accepting of alternative realities that are no longer grounded in facts, then we as American citizens are on a pathway to relinquishing our freedom. This is the life of non-democratic societies, comprised of people who are not free to seek the truth. We know them well. Societies in Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. You can complete the list. A responsibility of every American citizen to each other is to preserve and protect our freedom by recognizing what truth is and is not, what a fact is and is not, and begin by holding ourselves accountable to truthfulness and demand our pursuit of America's future be fact-based, not based on wishful thinking, not hoped-for outcomes made in shallow promises, but with a clear-eyed view of the facts as they are and guided by the truth that will set us free to seek solutions to our most daunting challenges. It is also that foundational commitment to truth and facts that binds us to other like-minded democratic nations, that we Americans will always deal with them from the same set of truths and facts. And it is truth that says to our adversaries, we say what we mean, and we mean what we say. When we as people, a free people, go wobbly on the truth, even on what may seem the most trivial of matters, we go wobbly on America. If we do not, as Americans, confront the crisis of ethics and integrity in our society and among our leaders in both public and private sector, and regrettably at times even the nonprofit sector, then American democracy as we know it is entering its twilight years. As to the matter of integrity, I am familiar with VMI's Honor Code. It was one of the reasons I looked so much forward to addressing you today. I know it is one of the first and most important elements every rat is taught as the basis upon which not just how to conduct oneself while at VMI, but it is the foundation upon which a VMI cadet stands apart from others. And at some point during your time here at VMI, you realize that you adhere to the Honor Code not because it is a requirement to be a part of this place, rather you do it because you want to. For you've come to realize that without personal honor, there is no leadership. But a warning to you as you leave this place, a place where the person sitting on either side of you shares that same understanding. You will now enter a world where, sadly, that is not always the case. And your commitment to this high standard of ethical behavior and integrity will be tested. While I'm fairly certain all of you have a common definition of the word integrity, it's always good to have a common understanding. One of Merriam-Webster's definition of integrity is the state of being complete and whole. Now, as a civil engineer, I've always liked that definition because I can relate to it through structural integrity, the state of being complete and whole. The structural integrity of this building, we know it has a complete and whole integrity, so we feel comfortable sitting beneath these beams in this roof that it's not going to end up down around our feet as we sit here. Integrity is a critical building block of trust and cooperation. It makes possible for different people of different organizations to work together to solve the world's most complex problems. Regardless of industry, project, or task, integrity frees us to innovate, collaborate, and share over the long term. As the world becomes more interconnected and global challenges require sophisticated, integrated solutions, the value of integrity only grows in importance. In every sector, integrity will be the key to unlocking high-impact technologies, new ways to conduct business, and new approaches to solve our most vexing geopolitical challenges that will make the world brighter for the generation to come. We do not have to look far to find examples of the cost to individuals and to society when integrity is sacrificed for immediate gain or personal achievement. Such damage strikes at the very heart of a free society. It undermines the public trust in institutions and the overwhelming number of individuals, organizations who do live and compete by the rules every day. It is a fact of life that most individuals want to make a positive difference in the world in which we live. After all, you've worked very hard and you've sacrificed much to get where you are. You want your efforts to mean something beyond just a job, the next advancement in rank or promotion. It is true that your education will certainly play a part in your future success. But if you truly want to build a brighter future for the world, you must make the decision to live a life of integrity. Your knowledge and abilities will not flourish without ethical behavior and strong moral fiber. Choosing a life of integrity provides a wealth of blessings and benefits. It gives us a true pathway to do the right things, the right way every time, whether or not anyone's looking. Such discipline is the true source of progress in a modern civilization because it is a commitment to see our actions as part of a broader social fabric of cooperation and mutual advancement. In your career, you will have occasions where it may appear easier to take a shortcut. The pressure you feel may come from within, that you need to impress others or that you need to have all the answers. Unfortunately, it may also come from your organization or directly from a supervisor or a coworker. These pressures can be particularly keen in the early stages of your career, pushing you toward decisions before the consequences are apparent. Committing yourselves to a life of integrity and reminding yourselves of that commitment often can give you the strength you need to resist the easy path that leads to poor results or even ruin. It is important to remember that leadership is not a position or title. Becoming a leader is what happens to those who embrace a life of integrity. As you grow in your career and your personal integrity will draw people to you. Your coworkers will come to rely on your humble, well-informed insights. Your supervisors will trust you because of your self-discipline. As you take on more responsibility and gain experience, your personal integrity will naturally evolve into managerial integrity. You will exemplify what the best leaders demand from their people until you yourself become a leader. I never aspired to be chairman and CEO of the ExxonMobil Corporation. My wife will tell you I achieved my objectives in about 1992. I was 40 years old. I'd become a division manager with responsibilities over a large part of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado. All I ever wanted to do. It was the best job I ever had. It's all been downhill since. But at some point, you begin to recognize that you have the capacity to do more and contribute more, not just for your own personal benefit, but for your organization. When senior managers begin working on behalf of their people, that's when I would see them really knock it out of the park. You are going to have a great life. Some of those days are going to be good days, some of them are going to be bad days. What I always reminded myself is not get overly euphoric on the good days and don't get overly despondent on the bad days. I was recently going through some of my father's papers, who passed away a couple of months ago, and ran across a page that it said it was Buck's Beatitudes. It's 10 items. J.F. Buck Bashir was a scoutmaster of a troop of Indian boys in Colorado back in the 50s and 60s. I picked 3 of his Beatitudes out because I think they're good to carry with you when I talked about those good days and bad days. So I got 3 that I cite from Buck's Beatitudes. Blessed is the man who can see you make a fool of yourself and doesn't think you've done a permanent job. Blessed is the man who does not try to blame all of his failures on someone else. And blessed is the man that can say that the boy he was would be proud of the man he is. So you maintain and protect who you are. And remember that being a person with integrity is the most valuable asset you have. Don't ever let anyone take it from you. Carefully consider the values and the culture of the organizations in which you seek to work. Look for employers who set high standards for personal conduct and who reward ethical leadership. Identify mentors who exemplify integrity and leadership excellence. Developing as a leader largely comes from also practicing good followership. See how the leaders you are following carry themselves, how they manage their responsibilities. Study how they communicate and make decisions. Observe how they learn from mistakes or missteps, their own and those of others. Importantly, recognize that integrity is not unique to any one culture. No matter where you are in the world, integrity and good character are prized by every great faith and every great tradition. Integrity means managing our lives in a way that focuses on the ideals that unite us as people. In summary, I've lived a happy life. I want you to have a happy life too. So I return to the definition of integrity, the state of being complete and whole. Absent a life of integrity, no human being can live a life that's complete and whole. Living a life of integrity, perhaps we have a chance. God bless all of you and your loved ones in the days ahead, and God bless the United States of America.
It is now my pleasure to present the awards for highest achievement to members of the graduating class. Will the cadets whose names are called please come to the steps as they are announced by General Smith.
The first Jackson Hope Medal for highest attainment in scholarship, accompanied by the Commander Harry Millard Mason Academic Proficiency Award, a cash prize to the recipient of the first Jackson Hope Medal, and it's presented to Cadet Jared Doron. Cadet Doron is a distinguished graduate majoring in biology. He's a distinguished military graduate and commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. Well done. The second Jackson Hope Medal for second highest attainment in scholarship, accompanied by the Colonel Sterling Murray Heflin 1916 Academic Proficiency Award, a cash prize awarded to the recipient of the second Jackson Hope Medal, is presented to Cadet Victor Cole. Cadet Cole is a distinguished graduate with Institute Honors, which is the highest academic distinction we give, and an economics and business major with a concentration in financial management. He commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. The Society of the Cincinnati Medal is awarded to that member of the graduating class who has distinguished himself or herself by efficiency of service and excellence of character while at VMI. The Cincinnati Medal is accompanied by two cash prizes, the Richard J. Marshall Award and the Sumter L. Lowry Award. The 2018 Cincinnati Medal is presented to Cadet Ross Julian Schmeiser. He's a distinguished graduate, majored in mechanical engineering, minored in mathematics. He's also a distinguished military graduate, commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army, and he is the complete leader. An exemplary VMI cadet, a true citizen soldier, dedicated to the mission, committed to high standards. He is humble and compassionate, and yet he's admired and effective leader of his peers. He's aggressive without being overly ambitious, intelligent and professional in deed and word. Thank you. Will all of the candidates for graduation please rise? The academic board has presented to the Board of Visitors 212 candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree and 159 candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree, all of whom have been certified to have completed the requirements for graduation from the Virginia Military Institute.
By the authority of law vested in the Board of Visitors and faculty, I confer upon each of you a diploma in testimony of your being a graduate of the Virginia Military Institute and award you bachelor's degree appropriate to your major field of study. Institute honors graduates and graduates distinguished in general merit will be called first and receive a distinguished graduate certificate. Please be seated and come forward to the platform as your course groups are called. We are pleased to recognize 24 cadets who have been certified as distinguished graduates with Institute honors. This honor is bestowed only on those who have earned at least a 3.5 cumulative grade point average while completing the requirements of their majors and minors, as well as the additional requirements of VMI's Institute Honors curriculum. This would be a rare achievement in any college or university, but is particularly noteworthy here given the co-curricular demands placed on cadets by the unique VMI education system. We're also pleased to take special note of 54 graduates who have been certified as distinguished graduates. These cadets have completed their curricula with a cumulative grade point average in excess of 3.5. Again, a remarkable achievement.
Take your seats. We have a lot of names today, so I'd ask that you hold your applause until the last. Do your best. Distinguished graduates with Institute Honors. Christian Spencer Nelms, Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics. Michael Seth Starin, Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Brandon Michael Barbary, Bachelor of Science in Biology, concentration in Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Connor Finn Snyder, Bachelor of Science in Biology. Colin Michael Emmerich, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Honors in Chemistry, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Mackenzie Megan Raber, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and Honors in Chemistry. James Ralph Broom III, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, concentration in Nuclear Engineering, and minor in Mathematics. Abdias Barbosa Girardi Jr., Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, minor in Chemistry. Ethan Erickson Kaiser, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, concentration in Nuclear Engineering. Peter J. Muto, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, concentration in Nuclear Engineering, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Drew Scott Switzer, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force, and Distinguished Air Force Graduate. Eric Jason Sedetol, Jr., Bachelor of Science in Physics, double major in Applied Mathematics, minor in Nuclear Engineering, Ensign, United States Navy. Reed Holland Jones, Bachelor of Science in Physics, minor in Astronomy, minor in Mathematics. Thomas Allen McCormick Schmidt, Bachelor of Science in Physics, double major in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, Distinguished Naval Graduate, Marine Corps. Ian James Horkin, Bachelor of Arts in Biology, minor in Military History, minor in History, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Victor Gustavo Cole, Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business, concentration in Financial Management, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Alexandra Marie Hill, Bachelor of Arts in English, concentration in Rhetoric and Writing, concentration in Philosophy, concentration in Literary Studies, concentration in Art History and Visual Culture, honors in English, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Brian Alexander Macaluso Stafford, Bachelor of Arts in History, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force, Distinguished Air Force Graduate. Ryan James Elliott, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in National Security, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Stephen Michael Foster, Jr., Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, double major in Modern Languages and Cultures, minor in Literary Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Benjamin Charles Hawes, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, and a minor in Arabic. Nathaniel Thomas Millard, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in National Security, minor in Arabic. Samuel Page Moffett, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, double major in Modern Languages and Cultures, minor in National Security. Ryan David Wells, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies and a minor in National Security. And the following are distinguished graduates. Jun Hao Chen, Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, Air Force of the Republic of China. Patrick Alexander Lenahan, Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, Air Force. Cameron Andrew Boone, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Jared Christopher Doron, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Justin Michael Doron, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Bethany Alexandra King, Bachelor of Science in Biology, minor in Exercise Science. Tyler Andrew Krug, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Donovan Vincent Walton, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Robert Lloyd Fitch III, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, concentration in Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and Distinguished Military Graduate. Paul Jacob Ackerman, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Alexander Cameron Catron, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Ariana Madeline Claudio, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. John Roger Kaiser, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Nathaniel Robert Kersey, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Robert Harrison Nunnally, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Katrina Nancy Schumacher, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, minor in Physics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Tirachad Suwanachad, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, Army of Thailand. John Andrew Tartala, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Taylor Ward Thomas, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Benjamin Patrick Washashek, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. David William Mize, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, minor in Computer Engineering, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Michael Roy Pineda, Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, minor in Chemistry, and minor in Mathematics. Vincent Michael Smith DeLeo, Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, minor in mathematics, ensign, United States Navy, and distinguished naval graduate. Chu Chen Chong, Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Matthew Ray Davis, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, Distinguished Naval Graduate, Marine Corps. Su Min Michael Hong, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, concentration in nuclear engineering, minor in mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Michael Joe Landry II, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, concentration in nuclear engineering, minor in mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, Distinguished Naval Graduate, Marine Corps. Ross Julian Schmeiser, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, minor in mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, Distinguished Naval Graduate, Marine Corps. Joshua Paul Willard, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, concentration in nuclear engineering, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Malolo Y. Baluvi, Bachelor of Science in Physics, double major in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Benjamin Cale Johnson, Bachelor of Science in Physics, double major in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Gregory Ray Austin, Jr., Bachelor of Science in Psychology, minor in Leadership Studies, honors in Psychology. Sarah Eileen Dickinson, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, minor in Chinese, honors in Psychology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Zhang Su Li, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, minor in Exercise Science, honors in Psychology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Richard Lee Warren III, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, honors in Psychology. Townsend Avery Wilburn, Bachelor of Arts in Biology, minor in French, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps, Distinguished Naval Graduate, Marine Corps. Si Ting Chu, Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business, concentration in Financial Management, minor in Mathematics. Jacob Allen Cochran, Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business, concentration in Global Management, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Andrew Jeffries Green, Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business, concentration in Financial Management. Cole Alexander Hedge, Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business, concentration in Financial Management, and a minor in Spanish. Thomas Jacob Maroney, Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business, minor in Psychology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Carly Michaela Anderson, Bachelor of Arts in English, concentration in Literary Studies, concentration in Philosophy, concentration in Rhetoric and Writing, honors in English. Emma Catherine Quirk, Bachelor of Arts in English, concentration in Literary Studies, concentration in Rhetoric and Writing, concentration in Philosophy, minor in Arabic, honors in English, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force, Distinguished Air Force Graduate. Scott Andrew Kirschberger, Bachelor of Arts in History, minor in National Security, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Robert Michael Borda Dowling, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Joseph Tyler Gruber. Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in National Security, minor in Arabic, minor in History, minor in Middle Eastern Studies. Charles Lewis Mayer, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in National Security, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. David Alexander Northington, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Donald Chase Simpson, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, minor in National Security, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Andrew F. Fallhaber, Bachelor of Arts in Modern Languages and Cultures, triple major in International Studies and History, minor in Middle Eastern Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Levi Cole Harmon, Bachelor of Arts in Modern Languages and Cultures, minor in International Studies. Kyle Edmund Hesse, Bachelor of Arts in Modern Languages and Cultures, double major in History, minor in International Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Matthew Bourne Kenkel, Bachelor of Arts in Modern Languages and Cultures, minor in Asian Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Connor Austin Ross, Bachelor of Arts in Modern Languages and Cultures, double major in International Studies, Ensign, United States Navy. The following will receive their Bachelor of Science degrees in Applied Mathematics. Armani Nadir Branch. An example of the three-legged stool. Reagan Wesley Branham. Kun Cheng, with distinction, Second Lieutenant, Army of the Republic of China. Alexander Henry Hall. Matthew Mark Heinrich, Jr. Eno Shea, Second Lieutenant, Army of the Republic of China. Miles Bradley Jacobson. Conrad William Jenny, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Ian Dale Johnson, with distinction, minor in Computer and Information Sciences, Ensign, United States Navy, distinguished naval graduate. Zhang Chiang Liu, with distinction, Ensign, Navy of the Republic of China. Cole Jeffrey Maziarski, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. William Schuyler Mertz, minor in physics. Stephen Powell Ryback, with distinction. Natalie Alana Rivas, with distinction. Michaela Diane Schuflet, with distinction, minor in Literary Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Anthony Robert Tarnowski, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. John Christian Walker, with distinction, Ensign, United States Navy. Michael Dean Will, minor in physics. Henry Warner Wiswall. A minor in military history and a second lieutenant in the United States Army. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Science degrees in biology. Jack Harwood Briles. Mia Gabrielle Canjano, second lieutenant, United States Army. Laura Dean Davis, concentration in biochemistry and molecular biology, minor in chemistry, minor in mathematics. Matthew Thomas Eagle, with distinction and a minor in exercise science. Grace Danielle Fisher, with distinction. Andrew Elliott Gould, with distinction. A minor in literary studies, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. Christiana Elon Hill, with distinction. Also a minor in psychology, second lieutenant, United States Army. Daniel Patrick Holmes, Jr. Brian Matthew Keel. Kayla Mackenzie Ranger, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. John Patrick Sanders, with distinction, concentration in ecology and organismal sciences. Ryan James Walker, with distinction, minor in psychology. Sydney Lexington White, minor in philosophy. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor's of Science degrees in chemistry. Garrett Paul Briggs. Carrick O'Clark Chiarli, with distinction, honors in chemistry. Travis Glenn Corhorn, with distinction. R. David LaFuse, with distinction, minor, a minor in mathematics, honors in chemistry, ensign, United States Navy. Julia Renee Logan. Michael James Parsons, with distinction, honors in chemistry. Matthew Brady Rowe. Mason Lee Sedlacek, second lieutenant, United States Army. Samantha Lynn Shepard, with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Catherine Joanne Watson, with distinction, minor in physics, honors in chemistry. The following cadets will receive their degrees of Bachelor of Science degrees in civil engineering. Cody Lane Bennett, with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Peter Ulrich Bernhardt, minor in physics, ensign, United States Navy. Kevin J. Carson, Christian Andres Cartagena with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Jeremy Jackson Cobb with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Paul Nelson Culbertson. Colton Thomas Bryant Depew. Chance Taylor Dixon, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Charles Benjamin Estes, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Kayla Lorraine Flippo, with distinction, minor in physics, and an ensign in the United States Navy. Rawls Thompson Fortenberry, with distinction. Pearson Burley Fowler. Anthony Louis Garcia, ensign, United States Navy. Anthony Richard Giaquinta. Nathaniel Thomas Hashisaki, with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Stephen Donald Hodgson. Daniel D. Howard. Matthew Terry Johnson, with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Todd Alexander Johnson, with distinction. Colby Dean Lawlicker, with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Dakota Alexander Lane. Christopher David Lieberman. Maxwell Arthur Robert Liebel, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Lois Catherine Lightfoot, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Mason Alexander Louthan, with distinction, ensign, United States Navy. Luke Augustine Leischer, with distinction, minor in mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Mia Maurizia McLean. Jacob Whitmer Novak, with distinction. John Zachary Owens. Todd Joseph Pinney, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Zachary Paul Pokrivka, with distinction. Joseph Frank Riccadonna, Jr. with distinction and a minor in mathematics. Evan Drew Roberts. Robert D. Rogers IV with distinction. Double major in applied mathematics. Ryan Matthew Schlossberg, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Jeremiah Joseph Sokul. Darren Edward St. Xavier with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Finn Oscar Swenson with distinction, Ensign. United States Navy, Distinguished Naval Graduate. Ryan Elijah Tinder, with distinction. Clayton Marshall Walker, with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Mark Kenneth Wright, also with distinction and a minor in business. Devin Zappolo. So the following cadets will receive their Bachelor's of Science degrees in Computer Science. Travis Wendell Arnold, with distinction. Tyler Michael Bornak, minor in International Studies, a second lieutenant, the United States Army. Nicholas Vincent Selfo, with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Army. Zachary Leland Clark. Julia Shirley Daly. Gillian Mirasol Eluzar, with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Reagan Elizabeth Gula, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Amy Lynn Horney, with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Elijah Austin King. Brian Antonio Lipscomb. Brian Keith McGuire Jr., Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Nicholas William Marshall, with distinction. Philip Anthony Meyer, with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Joshua Elias Orr, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Se-Hyun Park, with distinction. Alexander G. Rofale, with distinction. Tristan Lee Silverstorff, with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force, Distinguished Air Force Graduate. Jack Edward Smith, with distinction. Minor in Computer Engineering, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor's of Science degrees in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Ryan Matthew Oy Aranza Mendez, minor in Mathematics. Jake Pavel Bannigan, minor in Physics, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Joseph Francis Bruchalski, minor in Mathematics. Jordan Davis Drake, minor in Mathematics. Rush Nicholas Ehrman IV, with distinction. Alan William Lloyd, minor in Mathematics. Yusuf Amin Molek. Edward Olbrich with distinction. Wyatt Christopher Raymond with distinction, minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Army. Niles Alden Tate with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor's of Science degrees in Mechanical Engineering. Blake Chapman Barber, minor in mathematics, minor in physics. Samuel H. Barnett III. Aljan Kayabyab Barogo, with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. Tyler James Colgan, minor in mathematics. Nathan Ryan Doogie, with distinction, ensign, United States Navy. Trevor M. Durbin. Micah Aaron Ellington, a minor in physics. Christopher Paul Farrell, concentration in aerospace engineering, minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. Joshua Abraham Goldsmith, with distinction, concentration in aerospace engineering, minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Army. Andrew Robert Heinlein, with distinction, concentration in nuclear engineering, minor in mathematics, ensign, United States Navy. Joseph Thomas McCarty, with distinction, concentration in nuclear engineering, second lieutenant, United States Army. Michael Joseph McElroy Jr., minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Air Force, distinguished Air Force graduate. Jonathan Flores Navarro. Connor Patrick O'Brien, minor in mathematics, minor in physics, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. Nathan John Pernott, with distinction, concentration in nuclear engineering, minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Army. Tyler Matthew Ernest Richards, with distinction, minor in physics, second lieutenant, United States Army. Cody James Ryu, with distinction, minor in physics, ensign, United States Navy. Connor Joseph Robertson, with distinction, minor in mathematics, ensign, United States Navy, distinguished naval graduate. Samuel James Rooker, minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Richard William Wesley Sanders, with a minor in mathematics. Christian Thomas Scherer, with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. David Gardner Tyler V, with distinction, concentration in aerospace engineering, minor in mathematics, second lieutenant, United States Air Force. David Andrew Von Rinteln Jr., with distinction, concentration in nuclear engineering, ensign, United States Navy. David Lee Carlton Wright IV, with distinction, concentration in nuclear engineering, ensign, United States Navy, distinguished naval graduate. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor's of Science degrees in Physics. Erin Alexa Damon, with distinction. Minor in Astronomy, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Amber Marlena Lee Haig, minor in Mathematics, minor in Economics, and a minor in Astronomy. John Arthur Hefty, Jr., minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Brino Angelo Marco Illuri, with distinction, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Bryson Garrett Kelly, minor in Mathematics, Ensign, United States Navy. Alex James Warren, minor in Mathematics, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor's of Science degrees in Psychology. Shelby Elizabeth Barkley. Kevin Reed Bryant, with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army, Distinguished Military Graduate. Ross Alexander Condrey, minor in Leadership Studies, minor in Philosophy, minor in Rhetoric and Writing. Elijah William Dean, with distinction. With a minor in Physics. Sophia Anna Del Bondio, excuse me. Michaela Annie Lee Diamond, with distinction. Minor in National Security, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Miles Johnson Driscoll. Matthew Harrison Dunleavy. Jacob Andrew Foley, with distinction. Minor in History, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Brittany Nicole Jackson, with distinction. Minor in Rhetoric and Writing and honors in Psychology. Jacob Connor J. Patrick McGill Johnson. James Cobble League, with distinction. Peyton Allen Maddox. Samuel Abney Britton Neal Jr., with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Marie O'Shaughnessy, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Samuel Bransford Reiner, with distinction. Ramon Gerardo San Diego Rivera. Haley S. Scott, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Chase Hudson Smith, minor in Leadership Studies. Kyle Joseph Statz. Jacob Daniel Tomlinson. So the following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in Biology. Kendra Suzanne Appleby, with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. William Henry Atwill II with distinction. Minor in History. Samantha D. Briscoe with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Luca Antonio Melendez. Caitlin Leanne Morrison, minor in Art History and Visual Culture. Alec Hunter Rich with distinction. Hunter Isaac Sargent with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Samuel Wyatt Francis Schaefer. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in Economics and Business. Benjamin Daniel Agello, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. William Thomas Beal with distinction. Concentration in Global Management. Jonathan Richard Beck. Joseph Zachariah Brown. Liam Negan Burke with distinction. Concentration in Financial Management, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and Distinguished Military Graduate. Andrew Michael Campo with distinction. Concentration in Financial Management, minor in Chinese. Matthew John Eibel with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Benjamin DeLeon Fields. Concentration in Global Management, Ensign, United States Navy. John Daniel Fly. Emily Elizabeth Fulton. John Gaetano Genkinger with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. David Joseph Harpen. Philip Thaddeus Harpen, Second Lieutenant. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Joshua Harrison Hines. Evan Richard Hitt with distinction. Concentration in Financial Management, concentration in Global Management. William Carl Hogan. Concentration in Global Management. Nicholas Andrew Holdren. Fred Osoge Erafimi. Nathan Brian Kramer, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. William Halstead Malbin. Ryan Christopher Miller. Double major in International Studies, concentration in Financial Management, concentration in Global Management, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. John Clinton Mobley. Logan Thomas Moore. Connor Francis Murphy, minor in Spanish, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Army. Nicholas Paul Powis. Daniel Landers Rader. Avery Anthony Richardson Jr. with distinction. A concentration in financial management, honors in economics. Austin Michael Rulo with distinction. Concentration in financial management, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Gregory Tyrone Sanders Jr. with distinction. Minor in psychology, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Seth Carl Schenk. Concentration in global management, minor in leadership studies. Jacob R. Shaver. Concentration in global management. Edward John Stawazik, Jr. 2nd Lieutenant, United States Army. Gabriel Sancho Sutherland with distinction. Cabell Barker Thomas. Andrew Thomas Vaquero with distinction. 2nd Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Robert Johnson Woolfolk. Concentration in global management, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Army. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in English. Stephen Joseph Chain. Concentration in philosophy, concentration in rhetoric and writing, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Army. Kaylee Cannell Dixon, with distinction. Concentration in literary studies, concentration in rhetoric and writing, minor in psychology, honors in English, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Robert Coleman Elliott. Concentration in literary studies, concentration in rhetoric and writing, concentration in art history and visual culture. Alexandra Marie Frank. Carisha Imani Good. Concentration in art history and visual culture, concentration in rhetoric and writing, concentration in literary studies. Jake Gregory Koch with distinction and with a minor in Spanish. Joshua D. Pardue, concentration in literary studies, concentration in rhetoric and writing, and a minor in history. Matthew Alec Roach, concentration in literary studies, concentration in rhetoric and writing, concentration in philosophy, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Army. Rebecca Celine Sharano, concentration in rhetoric and writing, concentration in literary studies, concentration in art history and visual culture, minor in Spanish, 2nd Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Ryan Sidney Thorpe with distinction. Concentration in literary studies, concentration in rhetoric and writing, and a minor in psychology. Bryce Austin Tucker. Concentration in rhetoric and writing, concentration in literary studies. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in History. Nicholas Peter Albano. Concentration in Military History with a minor in Philosophy. Samantha Kristen Alexander with distinction and with a minor in Literary Studies. Eric Michael Arneson. Noah Ray Baker. Minor in Middle Eastern Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Joseph Tucker Burke with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Caitlin A. Caston. Double major in biology, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Gordon Del Cates III with distinction. Double major in international studies, a minor in philosophy, and a minor in French as well. Joseph Jung Kwon Choi with distinction. Double major in modern languages and cultures, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Jonathan David Collings with distinction. Concentration in Military History, minor in Business, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Charles Ross Dewey with distinction. Concentration in Military History, honors in History, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Patrick Wakefield Doolin with distinction. Concentration in Military History, minor in Chinese, minor in Philosophy, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Samuel Sessions Hutchins, concentration in Military History, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. John Edward Kepler, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Caden Harcourt Keensley with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Brennan Andrew McDonald with distinction. Honors in History, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Mitchell Kincaid McDonald with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Thomas Dixon McKellar, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Peter Joseph O'Neill, concentration in Military History, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Mark Simeon Persinger, concentration in Military History, a minor in Asian Studies, a minor in International Studies, a Second Lieutenant in the United States Army. Brian Edward Reel with distinction. Concentration in Military History. Nicholas Anthony Steinmetz with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Cole Harrison Taggart, and with a minor in Literary Studies. Ronald Henry Thielen III, concentration in Military History. William Overton Woodard Jr. with distinction. A concentration in Military History, a minor in Economics, and a minor in Business. The following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in International Studies. Colin Garrett Alexander with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Bria Danae Anderson with distinction. And a minor in Spanish. Chase Leonardo Anthony with distinction. Minor in Arabic, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Matthew Harrison Bean with distinction. Catherine Claire Barry, double major in history, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Manuel Arnaius Baden Block. Matthew Jason Boyd, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Eric Wayne Bird. Mia Isabella Castlevetter, a double major in modern languages and cultures and a second lieutenant in the United States Army. Jonathan Alexander Chow with distinction. Minor in Asian Studies, a second lieutenant, United States Army. Christopher Su Choi, second lieutenant, United States Army. Anna Kirk Conover with distinction. Minor in Chinese, second lieutenant, United States Army. Tyler James DeJoy with distinction. Double major in modern languages and cultures, a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Matthew David M. Esnardo. A minor in Computer and Information Sciences, second lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Jack Charles Flynn. A minor in Spanish. Elijah Barkley Forbes with distinction, second lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Grant M. Fudge with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Samuel Hunter Carandu with distinction, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Stephen Damian Crakey. Virgil Leroy Leidy III. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Bailey Ryan Mahoney. A minor in Spanish. Anthony Joseph Menachini. Nicholas William Mill with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army, distinguished military graduate. Brennan Patrick Miranda with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Matthew Landon Morris with distinction. Double major in modern languages and cultures, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and distinguished military graduate. Ryan Nali Maki Kaika Nagatoshi. I'm sorry. Oh, close. minor in Computer and Information Sciences, minor in Asian Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Casey Duncan Naylor, minor in History. Thomas Michael Nofi, a minor in Spanish. Macaulay John Ortiz with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Houston D. Pashoyan. Tyler Gregory Priest with distinction. Minor in Asian Studies, minor in Chinese, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Warren A. Robertson with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Griffin Matthew Sava with distinction. Patrick Shaverdian with distinction. And a minor in Spanish. Cody Scott Sheets, minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Daniel Matthew Sloss with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Andrew Timothy Smith with distinction. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Kennedy Ann Smith with distinction. Minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Andrew Jacob Stockmel. Double major in Modern Languages and Cultures, Second Lieutenant, United States Army, and a distinguished military graduate. Calvin Yunin Tang. Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Timothy Henry Wenholtz with distinction. Ensign, United States Navy. Christian Scott Williams with distinction. Hunter Michael Wolf with a minor in Spanish. Campbell Scott Wood with distinction. A minor in History, Second Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Haotien Shah with distinction. Double major in Modern Languages and Cultures, minor in Asian Studies, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. Now the following cadets will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in Modern Languages and Cultures. Noah Walter Chetlet with distinction. Minor in Spanish, Second Lieutenant, United States Army. David S. Cottrell, Jr. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Elizabeth Victoria Rose Johnston. Second Lieutenant, United States Army. Bryce Mitchell Moxley with distinction. Paul Opedasano, Jr. A minor in French, and he's a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated while the chaplain pronounces the benediction, after which the Virginia Military Institute Regimental Band will play the VMI Spirit. The new regimental commander, Cadet Benjamin Dixon, will then publish brief orders, after which this commencement ceremony is adjourned.
To the class of 2018, may the Lord bless you and protect you. May He enlarge your vision so that the impact that you make goes far beyond your lifetime. May you always be known as men and women of integrity. May the word trustworthy always be associated with your name. May your faith always sustain you. May your heart always be content. May the Lord allow you to do immeasurably more than you can ever ask or imagine. May God bless you. Go and make a difference. Amen.
Attention to orders. Leave of absence until 2200, 26 August 2018 is hereby granted to all cadets. Cadets returning from furlough must register at the guard room before that time. The class of 2018 is hereby relieved of duty. Yeah!